Tinubu's friend did will not even keep him not to talk, or will not allow him come this far not to talk of nominating for another round of elections. I really don't blame Tinubu. If he is thinking that way, I can understand why he's thinking that way. And I won't blame anybody who knows Shettima and what Shettima did and does. What that is, I can't tell you on TV because the airwaves cannot carry it. The airwaves cannot carry it.
You know something?
I know something. And I'm saying it on TV. I know something. Nobody will know what happened and continue to move with such a person. Right. So I don't blame Tinubu. Quite frankly, and let me make it clear to you. Let me say it now again. As an individual, I like Tinubu. I like Lagosians because of their struggle for life, their everything. I lived in Lagos, I was a Lagos boy. I like Tinubu as an individual. I call him uncle. As far as Nigerian politics are concerned and governance is concerned, I dislike Tinubu. But truth be said, nobody will know what really transpired, which I cannot say. You just try to say that I call them bandits and terrorists. I don't do that. Something happened. Nobody will know that kind of thing and continue to move with such a person. So I don't blame him.
So you'll be surprised if it's Tinubu and Kashim Shettima
I'll be surprised, but then it will now mean that also Tinubu has finally succumbed to those kind of things. That realm, that I really can't say it. I don't imagine, I can't understand how those kind of things give you power.
Right.
I cannot understand, neither can you. Neither will the airwaves explain to the whole world how does that kind of thing bring power to anybody. It's unbelievable what is going on. Everything has gone wrong with the Fourth Republic. Everything that can go wrong, everything that can go wrong has gone wrong with Nigerian democracy, which really is not a democracy up to now. And this Fourth Republic has been a disaster.
All right.
Datti Baba-Ahmed, my man. I like this man. He will tell you his mind. It was. That was when he shake table. That 2023 election. He shake table. See. Anyways, nothing to say. Just take your time. Listen to what Datti Baba-Ahmed said on this video. Everywhere boss. You know there is problem in the APC camp. Tinubu, no way for Tinubu. 2027. No, there is no escape route for him. There is no pathway for Tinubu in 2027. If you think I'm lying, listen to Datti Baba-Ahmed. Let him explain to you that Tinubu. No, it's not even Tinubu says. Nigeria is against this APC government. We want to send them back away from Asoloka. It is possible. It's not too difficult to do it. That's why this coalition, don't worry, don't mind what these people, some persons are saying concerning this coalition. It's going to be a shock to Tinubu to see that he's been defeated when that time comes. Take your time, watch the video to the end. And please, don't forget, like, share, comment, and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Please, I'll be your guy. Run out for me now.
Ambitions must be suppressed. And the real things that defeat a serving government, we are kind of yet to see it. What are those things? You must have consistent, unrelenting opposition to a serving government. Just look, how many weeks ago was the Benue killings, followed by the Kebbi one, followed by the Plateau ones. This is after many have happened in the last 2 years. In the same way that someone is promoting the coalition and individually people are silently promoting their careers, who is jabbing the Tinubu junta about his misgovernance?
Is that junta?
Yes.
Was that deliberate?
It's very deliberate. Well, remember, you're bringing me to something I don't want to. I still say that the Tinubu administration is questionably constitutional. Because if you read the constitution, his government is not consistent with the Nigerian constitution. But because of respect for the rule of law, I just have to recognize there is somebody who is operating as the president of Nigeria. He didn't win the elections. He didn't.
Not according to the law, at least.
No, according to the constitution, they are still not consistent with the Nigerian. You must have credible certificate. Does your president have a certificate? Is it legit? Is it legit?
I would say that constitutionally, according to the rules, he has the mandate.
Well, that's why I said hunter. That's why I call it a hunter. And I respect the law. I respect the Supreme Court and their judgments and all the things that follow. But you brought us back to there. I call it a hunter because of how they took over how they captured the Nigerian state. It was captured. They didn't win the election. I keep telling you people that you don't even have to win elections to be a president or to be a head of state, by whatever name it goes. 9 out of 16 Nigerian leaders did not buy INEC forms. I said it before. So it doesn't matter if Tinubu rigged or if his government is not consistent with the Nigerian constitution, which I still repeat is not consistent. Do you understand? You don't have to buy INEC form. You don't even have to contest to be, because throughout Nigerian history, 9 out of 16 didn't even buy the forms, not to talk of, and yet they served 9 years, 8 years, 5 years, 2 years, 6 months, 10 months. Let's come back to what you're saying.
Yeah, about the honorable cause, because people are questioning this strange coalition of people who, politically speaking, are not necessarily aligned, so to say.
Yeah, you couldn't be more correct by saying that they are strange. I'm very, very happy to see Nasir El-Rufai once again recognizing his our leader Atiku Abubakar, and giving him the due respect and all that. So it's strange. What people can do for power is unbelievable. What people can do for power, they can come back and eat what they said. They can trace back their tracks. They can do anything. Strange bedfellows, yes, are coming in. Look, the fact that a coalition happened before and they defeated the government may be the exact reasons why it may not succeed now. Why? People are underestimating the Tinubu person. Nigerian military rulers have not done what Tinubu has done. Nigerian military rulers respected the constitution. He has no regard whatsoever for the Nigerian constitution. Nigerian constitution is his own. From councillor to president, this is an individual who has appointed and disappointed, installed and removed, all the way, never mind CJN, chiefs, ministers and all those. Nobody has done that in Nigerian history. Just to let you know how people are underestimating how powerful this individual is, and they think with kid gloves that they can come and remove him from power. No, it needs to be a lot more than that. Look, what we used to call Democracy Day, this man didn't like it. The democracy that we're enjoying today, move it from this day to that day. That is Tinubu's Democracy Day. I have no problem with it, because I don't...
Are you talking about the June 12 commemoration?
Yes, it's not a problem to me.
Yeah, but it didn't start under his administration.
Well, but he made it. He made it. It was Buhari. Yes.
Are you saying there's no consensus around June 12?
Look, don't change the topic. I'm telling you how powerful this gentleman is that we're trying to remove. Okay? The whole public holiday of democracy is influenced by what he decides it should be. I'm telling you how strong, how powerful this man is. He has appointed and disappointed all through the ranks. The constitution is what he decides is. The law has to be interpreted his own way. This language that we're speaking, you and I, English, it is his own meaning, not your meaning or my own meaning that we take. So any coalition that is coming together have to realize how powerful this individual called Tinubu is. Somebody who schemed for 16 years to take it one day. He has done what nobody has done. And I don't see among our own coalition now somebody who is able to plan for a scheme for 16 years. With due respect to Atiku, Atiku consistently contests. All the last 6, this will be the 7th one, without let or hindrance. Tell me who from across the divide would stand up and say that it must be that other individual. There must be the president and I'll take over from him after 8 years. I'm here to see that person. Others are also interested in their own candidacy, in their own presidency. But what did Tinubu do? He became interested in Buhari, as unreliable as Buhari is, became interested in Buhari, and that after Buhari, he will take over. He remained focused for that length of painful 16 years, and he took it by force in 2023.
Right.
Like I said, skipped, he gave Atiku in 07, Ribadu 11, Buhari in 15, Buhari won despite all the promises that, he skipped 19 again. Tell me among all these other politicians who is that patient, strong, focused, determined, and I'm not praising him again.
It sounds like a compliment, doctor.
No, it's not. He did all that to go and steal 2023. because he didn't win the elections. It's not a compliment. I'm telling you, and I want you to understand me in context, that to defeat this phenomena called Tinubu, you must do the unthinkable. You must do the near impossible. If we think if this coalition, which I recognize, thinks is going to do business as usual, it may not work. It has to be less about ambition of individuals and more about Nigeria. It has to be more about real action and less about words. Because talk is cheap. Talk is easy. Anybody can stand up and say whatever they read online, what they had somebody say, regurgitate it. And how many people can walk the talk? How many people can suppress their ambition in the interest of Nigeria? That is where the problem is. Right. Now, there are structural issues with this coalition. When in 2013, 14, 15, they already had an outlier. You know the definition of an outlier, high observation in a data set, in the name of Buhari, who had cried to the world that he will not contest again. How they convinced him to come, and it's a subject for another sitting, you know. And he came back to contest 2015. And all the other candidates willingly succumbed and succeed. Now it remains to be seen if one of the leading candidates will win the nomination in this alliance. Will the others religiously follow like it happened? That's a question mark. Right. It remains to be seen. Then we don't have a Buhari in the coalition. That kind of figure who had commanded 12 million votes in 3 consecutive elections. Atiku is not exactly in that mold. Then you don't have a Tinubu that is focused, resourced, and consistent in his own ambition, that is far away. He has the foresight to see 2023, that's what he wanted. You see, if there are two people, every morning you use your sword, it becomes blunt. Every morning I go and sharpen mine and sharpen mine and sharpen mine and I keep it. One day when the time matters, when we come, you swing, yours falls, I swing, mine cuts. We lack those structural defects which have to be immediately attended to in this coalition. The fact that something happened before against that master schema, coalition is his game. He knows it. Oh, they want to make a coalition against me. All right. He knows every step of the way. How to defeat him, yes, is there, come together. Let me repeat, I believe in coalition, I believe in coming together. And I'm in support of this coalition in the same way that, look, I still believe Labour Party still remains a good platform. Right.
Yes. So just to be categorical, and then correct me if I'm wrong, I almost get the sense that you're trying to say that this coalition is doomed to fail.
No.
I mean, you're saying you don't have all the pieces, you don't have a Tinubu, you don't have a Buhari, Atiku is good but not good enough.
No, the coalition, I am saying specifically what must be put in place for the coalition to succeed.
Sounds to me like you have all the pieces, Atiku Abubakar, Peter Obi, all the former bigwigs in the APC, the PDP,
among the three of them,
all the outliers.
Among the three of them, who has ever stepped back to say that I'm in support of another?
Isn't it early days?
No. It was early, way back in 2007. When Tinubu played politics with Atiku to say, come and take ACN and contest. It was that early. Now I think you're starting to get my message. You need to really, really plan and hold on to that plan and maintain focus of your plan. You don't come haphazard and say you're going to defeat someone who is a planner.
You don't see a strategy at this point?
I'm not criticizing, I'm not going against the coalition. It is not there yet. And you do business as usual against a sitting government like Tinubu, you won't win. You need to do actually what we call think outside the box. To achieve an impossible feat, you truly need an impossible strategy. You need to do the unthinkable. Because if you bring out who they are seeing Atiku, they know how to work against Atiku. They know what his problem is. And he's welcome to win. If he wins, we'll support him to that. You need that candidate whom they can't understand. They don't know where to catch. They don't know. That is how
And do you think the coalition right now has that piece?
The coalition is full of
options.
The coalition is full of resources, but the downside, the coalition is also too full of ambition. The ambitions have to be reduced. They have to be managed carefully. There's no, unlike when you had a default leader in 2015 in the name of Buhari, this time around there shouldn't be a default leader. You know? That it must be Mr. A, Mr. B, or Mr. C. It shouldn't be like that. Because Buhari was coming to challenge the then President Jonathan, whose tenure was seen as it should be from the north. And you know that rotation in Nigeria is like a religion. It's more powerful, it's as powerful as what the Constitution provides. So it was very, very easy for the Tinubus and the Amechis and all those from the south to come together. But now again, you are facing the same thing. If you recall, during my 2023 elections campaign, I was saying that in 2018 primaries for 2019 elections, I felt honored that there were people from the so-called, we call it South and North, there were people from the south of Nigeria who were resourced, experienced, and had everything it took to contest, but they decided not to contest. I felt honored that I live in a true federation that we have mutual respect for each other. And so when it came to 2023, I decided not to contest, even though I contested 2019. I decided not to. Now, but when you have consistent ambition from 2007, all the way to 2023, somebody who pulls back and is able to say, no, this is not my time, this is not our time, I'm going to support somebody else.
You don't think that kind of conversation is already happening in the coalition? Because tell you what, there's one group of people that will be happy with your analysis about what may go wrong, and that's the APC, because they're quite dismissive of the potential of this coalition actually, coming up with an offset in 2027, because they believe the coalition will be unable to answer the question around zoning, and they also believe that some of the key figures driving the coalition are too ambitious to step down for one another.
Now, don't take anything APC says. This is just my point of view. What didn't they promise you and nothing happened? There is nothing that they won't say, because right now they are beaten. They are just waiting to go. Look, anybody can defeat APC.
You don't think the APC is stronger now than the one you faced in 2023?
No.
Look at how they're growing in size.
That is not growth. I think you're looking at the wrong signals. That's not growth. This is commercial growth. Commercial defections, and all sorts of, underhand tactics to bring people. Real defections have taken place at the polling units. Don't you know that?
Someone say that's a bit presumptive.
No.
It's still 2 years before the next election.
No.
You don't think the Tinubu administration could turn things around?
They can't. Not just the Tinubu administration. APC's time is over. They're only in government. I agree. But their time is over. PDP was able to manage 16 years. And in relative terms, they are saints compared to APC. The money that was stolen under was a joke compared to, it's like corruption started all over again in Nigeria when Buhari was sworn in. Buhari's government was sworn in. It started all over. It's like insecurity took a whole new meaning when they began to eye 2015 elections. So don't take what they are telling you, real democracy is at the polling units. The real politics is with a political party that is able to put together the people that will get you those votes, escort the votes all the way to the declaration center, and ensure that nothing happens except the true votes of the people. That's real democracy. When votes are stolen along the way, when the constitution is violated along the way, it fails to be democracy.
Right.
Yeah.
And Doctor, the big question is for some people who are trying to interrogate the issues, go beyond the headlines, the political rhetoric. They are saying that the coalition is working overtime to give Nigerians something to vote against, which is Tinubu and the APC, but they're not giving Nigerians something to vote for in the coalition. We're not hearing of a plan. What are they going to do differently from the Tinubu administration? How is life going to be affordable for Nigerians?
Now you're coming to my point of view. Now you're coming to my point of all the points that I have made before now is to awaken the coalition. I'm with you. I agree. I support. However, I need to see us correct the things that I have mentioned before now. Do you get the point now? That's why I took step by step to mention to you what we have in the coalition and what we don't have in the coalition. And that's why I try to like deconstruct the Tinubu phenomena, understanding for what he is, so that when you're going to defeat him. But as far as APC is concerned, APC have nothing to show Nigerians except brute force, fraud, and abuse of power, misuse of Nigerian institutions, the security, INEC. It's very difficult to say, but I'm sorry to say the judicial system. That is their strength. The strength of any genuine opposition political movement now are A, the failures of APC, B, the promise that they are capable of fulfilling. That's why I said you must try to move away from the regular politicians that you've been seeing. Nigerians need to believe that, look, you were not in APC yesterday, and because they didn't give you what you wanted, then you say, I must see them out. With due respect, I'm not talking about anybody. There are people who have been in government for 24 years.
Yeah, but some would say you're talking about virtually all the people in the coalition, so to say.
Is that the end of Nigeria? There is you. There are the people outside. There are those who think politics is a dirty game, which is wrong. There are those who think politics is expensive, that is wrong. And they are refusing to enter. Look, in the military, there is an offense called desertion. And desertion is punishable by death. What Nigerian citizens are doing now, I would like to say, is worse than desertion. In the situation of Nigeria, and we Nigerians who are capable of partaking in our politics and refuse to, it's a social crime, it's a moral crime, and it's worse than desertion. There are people out there who can come into the political system, even if they don't contest. They can add to the honor in a party. They can add in the processes of political parties. But they are not doing, simply because of that culture that politics is a dirty game. So allow the criminals to continue to take over. Who and what you see in the opposition today are not the end of Nigerian politicians. There are more there who are refusing to come in. This is a call for every Nigerian who can, who should, he must, she must. Because the more you avoid it, the more you create the chance for certificate forgers and their likes. Like I said, what does the virus do? It replicates. There is no room now for a good person in Nigerian politics. You have to be one of them. They must be your godfathers, they must be your bosses, and you must do exactly what is wrong. And if that is the case, how will Nigeria ever be right? How will we ever get it right? The good people who should be in politics are not getting into it. Who then will fix the problem?
Right. And Doctor, do you understand the skepticism of some Nigerians who say, listen, the coalition might have some potential or promise, but we're not yet sold on their agenda because the message is not necessarily clear. I mean, rebuild, rescue, return Nigeria to Nigeria sounds, catchy, but there's nothing substantial yet. And do you understand where people are coming from if they analyze
I understand it deeply, but let me tell you this. It's not that anybody has a choice. Nigerians don't have a choice. APC must go.
And is the coalition the best alternative?
Let me answer one question. Even APC does not have a choice. APC must go. Where was Ganduje last week? Where is he today? Nigerian politicians don't have a choice. APC must go. Victims of insecurity don't have a choice. APC must go. Spenders of the Naira, industrialists, tradespeople, market women and men, farmers, transporters, the youth, nobody has a choice in Nigeria. APC must go. It's just how to go about doing it. Now, I tell you this, everybody knows the right thing, but sentiments come in between. You see, from wiping out insecurity, flushing out the forests, okay, making Nigeria more secure, to improving our economy, providing infrastructure, all these are simple tasks. Very, very simple tasks. Do you know what the difficult task is? Saying the truth people to say the truth to themselves and to authority. That's why the problem is. Look, you have all sorts of people now, practitioners of insecurity in the forests. You call some insurgents, you call some bandits. Yes, they are, but they are practitioners of insecurity. Do you know who the real bandits are? Do you know who the real terrorists are? Those who see insecurity and tell you that the government has provided security. That is terror. It is terror when a politician comes out in the presence of insecurity to say that the government has provided security. That is terror, that is banditry, that is immoral. If Nigerians can solve this problem, not to leave a few people every day to come out, say the truth and say, you're taking risks with your life. The government is not happy with you. What can we do? There is nothing else for people to know. Nigeria is not safe. APC did not perform from Buhari to this Tinubu. They did not perform, and they will not perform even if you give them another 40 years. Now it's for Nigerians to say the truth. These people cannot do it. Because they can't do it, they are no longer an option. APC will, whether we like it or not, they will say their candidate is Tinubu. But then Nigerians know who can defeat Tinubu. Nigerians know. The politicians in ADC, in the coalition movement, I swear to God, they know deep down inside them.
Do you know who the person is?
I don't know. Because I'm an interested party. That I'm directly interested.
I want to go out on a limb here.
Yes.
Permit me to go out on a limb, because a lot of people would really love to hit the nail on the head, or love for you to hit the nail on the head.
Yes.
Is that person Peter Obi?
Peter Obi is an excellent material to lead Nigeria. He's an excellent, in the same way that Atiku can be an excellent, in the same way.
But is he the one you're alluding to?
We're in a coalition.
Right.
If we're talking about Labour Party, pointedly I'll tell you yes.
Right.
Pointedly. But in the context of the coalition, I will not surpass my party and usurp their powers. Please.
But you're going to champion for somebody, isn't it?
Look, can you just allow me to finish my point? Nigerian politicians are not entirely that bad. When the chips are down and something breathes morality into their heads, one day maybe in the grounds of primaries, they will be able to say, despite the dollars that are being shared around, and out of all these candidates, we have now been inspired. We're going for the right candidate. There are right candidates. Look, there are good people in Nigeria. There are people who can develop Nigeria. There are people who can sort our problems out immediately. But the process does not allow them. To be a candidate is horrendous. It's expensive. It takes you the energy and morality of a lifetime to become a candidate. By the time you finish becoming a president, they have scraped away all love, all mercies in your heart. I beg to answer what happened to Buhari, the Buhari that we used to know in 2002. Having gone through the process, 3 elections, and then the 4th one. By the time he got there, it was business as usual. Bribes were taken, bribes were given to people you never expect. Once that is done, that is the end of it.
All right. Okay.
But let me repeat now. There are good Nigerians who are capable of solving our problems. But the process is horrendous. The process is prohibitive. And our greatest enemy now politically speaking, is that we have terrorists and bandits, not the ones in the forests, the ones who look you in the face and tell you that the government has provided security. That is terror.
Right.
The people who look at you and go and read out speeches that the economy of Nigeria has improved, that is banditry, for God's sake.
I mean, Dr.
And we're in the presence of these things,
right,
you cannot get those good Nigerians to come out and lead.
Right. Some would say that is the alarmist point of view. There are other people who hold a different perspective to this one. But also, speaking of perspective,
yes.
The coalition movement itself has generated quite a lot of political reverberations. People who agree with the coalition and people who don't necessarily support the coalition. So let's have a quick listen to one I would consider your political ally, the governor of Abia State, Governor Oti, reacting to some of these recent developments. The thoughts of the governor of Abia State.
I also have a right to state that I am still a member of Labour Party. And I'm not looking for where to become to. The second point is about coalition. And a lot of people have been asking, oh, are you a member of the coalition? And my response is, have you seen my name? Have you seen me attend any coalition meeting? So we're just busy doing the work that other people have given us. So we're not attending any coalition meeting. I've not attended one. Nobody has invited me. So I know some members of the council have also asked just for information. And my response is that I've not attended any. Nobody has invited me. And I'm happy where I am. Yeah, we had issues. A lot of people had. If you don't have issues, then you are gone. You're dead. So you wake up and there's one problem or the other. You solve the problem. And you don't run away from a problem and pretend to have solved it. So we done. Yeah, when we had our problems, we fought all the way to Supreme Court and retrieved our party from the Supreme Court. So I believe that a few issues that remain will be resolved very soon because.
Right, the thoughts of Abia State Governor Alex Oti there, talking about his commitment to fixing the rot or the challenges within the Labour Party amidst all of these talks of coalition. And of course, as you do know, Peter Obi has, shown his support for the Labour Party. His running mate, who's our guest tonight, has also lent his support for the coalition. Brings me to the question: are you still a member of the Labour Party?
Did you hear the highlights of the meetings of yesterday? And that's why you're getting it wrong.
Which of the meetings?
There was a meeting yesterday in which, clearly the highlights, the communique after
Oh,
that
you're
meeting.
talking about the PDP stakeholders?
No. There was a coalition meeting yesterday,
right,
in which, please find the text. It said clearly that members of the legacy parties, Labour Party was mentioned, will remain in their parties until their elections hold. Now, people are making it mutually exclusive as at now, that you either belong to coalition, who today adopted ADC, or you belong to your political party. That is wrong. You are at liberty to be associating with the coalition movement.
It's unethical.
No. You're wrong. Belonging to two political parties at the same point in time is wrong. But you are relating with a coalition to remove a dragon like APC. You are relating with, because even Labour Party can come as a party and relate with the coalition. So what is wrong if individuals of that party go to meet and discuss?
If we wanted,
let me finish. It's not anti-party. Look, if it was possible, we would have come all together from the top to the bottom of Labour Party, Peter would be, myself and everyone else, to say, look, what does the, let's relate with the coalition movement. But the Labour Party in its own right now is not minded to do that, and that is why sons of Labour Party are doing. We have not resigned from Labour Party. I have not resigned. Peter Obi has not resigned from Labour Party.
Sounds to me like you're serving two different masters.
No.
Because there's no more coalition, there's only ADC and other political parties.
No, you're getting it wrong. You're getting it wrong.
But you just adopted the African Democratic Congress.
The coalition movement today adopted ADC as the platform for 2027. Is that clear?
Yeah, that's very obvious.
And in yesterday's meeting too, it says the legacy parties, which you need to update yourself. Get the text of that and please read it here in the news. As a rejoinder to this matter, that the members of those legacy parties are free to remain in their parties until the conclusion of their election.
That is quite unusual.
No, you're not getting it right.
I'm saying, has there been ever a time in Nigerian political history where...
You need to read the communique, and I'm telling you now that
I understand the message of the
Labour Party could have come with us completely. in one whole we could come, but they are not minded to do that now. They prefer to stay as Labour Party, and that's why sons of Labour Party came to the coalition individually.
So one leg in Labour Party, one leg in the coalition?
Wrong. You are just adopting, everyday proverbs to simplify what you want to put.
I'm saying there is no 100% commitment to the coalition, and that's why that caveat is there. So you can eat your cake and have it, basically.
No. There is a coalition movement today which has adopted ADC, and legacy people are coming from all walks, including APC. For somebody who is holding a position like Excellency David Mark, he is holding a position, so it behoves on him to formally resign from the PDP and then pick up this position. Others who are not picking up positions in the coalition movement that has adopted this party, ADC. The arrangements within ADC and within coalitions recognizes their rights for what I've just mentioned to you now.
Right.
But in any case, you see, party issues will continue to be giving you the kind of chance to say one leg in, one leg out, or anything like that. I always prefer to deal in governance issues. Party matters, if you go throughout my history, I prefer to leave party leaders to handle party matters. I deal with governance issues, while the party should handle that.
Right. Okay.
So forgive me if I'm not 100% on point in asking your questions, because it is really not my core competence. But in parties, there are philosophical matters that are dear to me. I have just told you, Nigerians who should be in the arena of politics and contesting have deserted. One of the worst mistakes in Nigerian democracy is that the people who should be in politics have shied away from politics.
Right.
And we have them.
Right, okay.
Then the second thing I told you again, I need to re-emphasize it so that you and listeners will understand. Everything about governance is easy. Bringing the dividends of democracy for people like me who could be sleeping and will be providing infrastructure and security. The difficult thing is for people to say the truth in the presence of official office terrorists and bandits.
I mean, don't you find that language extreme, Dr. Ahmed?
Thank you very much. We are in an extreme situation. Are you forgetting that?
Yeah, but the color commentary doesn't help.
No. It does help. 200 people were killed in Benue. How many more were killed in Kebbi? How many were killed in Plateau? Is this not an extreme situation?
Yeah, but calling the people in government bandits and terrorists.
You are putting words in my mouth, and that is not fair.
I thought that's what you just said.
No.
Right.
I told you that those in the forest are terror practitioners and bandit practitioners. Those people who say that the government has provided security when 200 people were killed in Benue are bandits and they're terrorists.
Right, okay. So
no, I didn't call Tinubu a terrorist. I didn't call Shetima a bandit.
Yeah.
Don't make me say that.
Okay. I'm saying that, you know, the concept of the glass being half full and half empty and both statements being true, I guess you don't buy that. But you know, just on the final point, because we're running out of time, the APC appears to have a lot more options to play with right now. Recently, the national chairman just resigned, and over the past couple of weeks, the debate around the VP slot has been amplified. Case in point, what happened in Gombe just a couple of weeks ago when the Northeast zonal meeting of stakeholders was supposed to, you know, throw its weight behind Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu as the candidate. Take me through how that amplifies the Herculean nature of the task ahead for the coalition, that the president could potentially decide to, you know, change things up with his ticket, or even, you know, decide to...
Put your question straight.
Yeah, so the APC has a lot more options now.
Just put your question.
Going into 2027.
Put your question.
The president could decide to, you know, append whatever the coalition is doing by going with a Northern Christian, for instance.
Well, that's his prerogative, but anybody who knows what Tinubu's friend did will not even keep him not to talk, or will not allow him come this far not to talk of nominating for another round of elections. I really don't blame Tinubu. If he is thinking that way, I can understand why he's thinking that way. And I won't blame anybody who knows Shetima and what Shetima did and does. What that is, I can't tell you. on TV because the airwaves cannot carry it. The airwaves cannot carry it.
You know something?
I know something. And I'm saying it on TV. I know something. Nobody will know what happened and continue to move with such a person.
Yeah.
So I don't blame Tinubu. Quite frankly, and let me make it clear to you. Let me say it now again. As an individual, I like Tinubu. I like Lagosians because of their struggle for life, their everything. I lived in Lagos, I was a Lagos boy. I like Tinubu as an individual. I call him Uncle. As far as Nigerian politics are concerned and governance is concerned, I dislike Tinubu. But truth be said, nobody will know what really transpired, which I cannot say. You just try to say that I call them bandits and terrorists. I don't do that. Something happened. Nobody will know that kind of thing and continue to move with such a person. So I don't blame him.
So you'll be surprised if it's Tinubu and Kashim Shettima
I'll be surprised, but then it will now mean that also Tinubu has finally succumbed to those kind of things. That realm, that I really can't say it. I don't imagine, I can't understand how those kind of things give you power.
Right.
I cannot understand, neither can you. Neither will the airwaves explain to the whole world. How does that kind of thing bring power to anybody? It's unbelievable what is going on. Everything has gone wrong with the Fourth Republic. Everything that can go wrong, everything that can go wrong has gone wrong with Nigerian democracy, which really is not a democracy up to now. And this Fourth Republic has been a disaster.
All right.